Hello, everybody. Welcome. Super excited to have you guys here. This is the first time that I'm streaming across multiple platforms. So I'm very excited to have you guys here. And the purpose of today's live Q&A workshop is to essentially walk you through the possibility for Valentines. I'm going to share specific products that are making as much as $200,000 a month. Yes, you heard me right. So not only am I going to share specific examples, but I'm also going to essentially provide you with the solution that you might have been waiting for as far as understanding why you're not getting the traction that you want to get. Give me a second because I just realized I forgot. Wait, hold on. Something happened. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Let's do this. I needed more light. I was like, oh, it's really dark in here. All right, guys, so let's get started. Without further ado, excited to have you guys here. First and foremost, let's talk about Valentines, right? And the possibilities of at Valentines. Americans are going to spend as nearly as $26 billion this Valentine's Day, just to give you an idea of the possibilities, right? And the other thing I want you to keep into consideration is that even though you are going to be uploading more Valentine gifts, right? You also have to think that you have to make it evergreen, right? I don't want you to only focus on uploading items that are Valentine themed. You have to think about who the givers are and so make something that is broader. So the possibilities and the opportunities are there, right? And the reason you might be here today is for multiple reasons. First, you're ready to make 2024 your best year ever. You know that there's plenty of opportunities on Etsy, and you heard that Etsy is very beginner friendly, but for whatever reason, you aren't getting consistent sales. So you're like, okay, why am I not getting consistent sales? Not to worry, we're going to discuss this today. And for whatever reason as well, you can't seem to rank your listings no matter how hard you try. So you find yourself in a situation, if you already have an Etsy store where you uploaded a few listings and for whatever reason, you're not getting traction, right? So you are applying everything that you're learning along the way, but you can't seem to crack it to 10K months. And what seems to happen is that folks are like, well, this isn't working because I can't seem to crack it. And it's not that it's not working. I'm actually going to show you proof of a store who made $17,000 and opened January 1st. I'm going to share that to you just to show you that Etsy is not the issue. Saturation is not the issue. But the issue is that there's a knowledge gap, right? So you're uploading things without really understanding how Etsy works. So here's what to expect today. As you know, I don't like fluff. I'm straight to the point. That's the New Yorker in me, having lived in New York for a really long time. So not only I'm going to share specific products that are making as much as $200K a month. I'm going to leave that till the end because, you know, I like to give you little surprises and keep you on the edge of your seat. And then I'm also going to share beginner-friendly and advanced knowledge on how you can finally get to these 10K months. And I'm also going to share an amazing hack. It's going to be a proven actionable plan so you can see results. This hack you'll be able to use right after watching today's presentation. So if you don't know me already, I'll make this quick. A lot of you guys already know me, but I'm a top 1% Etsy seller. I actually was featured in the Everbee podcast. If you haven't listened to the episode yet, make sure to listen to that. That was like back in September/this summer. I scaled my first Etsy shop to 6 figures in 6 months, but this is after going through the school of hard knocks. So I've been doing e-commerce for quite a while, and I started my journey with Shopify and running Facebook ads and also learning how to do organic traffic with Shopify. I mean, I've been through it all. I've been through it all. And essentially out of frustration, while I was selling Shine On at the time, I decided to give Etsy a try and the rest was history. I mean, it really made me realize that Etsy was much more beginner friendly. And most importantly as well, throughout this journey, I realized that a lot of the knowledge that was shared out there did not work. I had to essentially come up with my own formula. So like I said, I created my own formula that really allows everyday people to go from 0 to 6 figures without having to waste years with endless trial and error and eventually giving up, because usually that's what happens. Folks get really excited about the prospect of Etsy, and then they're not able to crack it, and they just give up and move on to another side hustle. So these are some of the results that I've been able to, these are some of the results from folks inside my community, folks who are some of my students. Lisa, who reached 6 figures in a year, 140K and still counting, $53,000 all time. This was last year in just a couple months. From Christina, who's one of my students. Irene, who actually joined the program late October, she made 20K this Christmas. Deborah made 30K during Christmas as well. Anastasia made $11,000 in 30 days. So just to give you some ideas of what's possible. And these are folks just like you who started without having any digital marketing knowledge, without knowing much about Etsy, etc. So let's start, right? Without further ado, let's go through some of the product ideas and how you can start making money for Valentine's. It's not too late. There's still plenty of opportunities. And by the way, guys, another thing I want to mention is if you don't crack it for Valentine's, Mother's Day is around the corner, then there's Father's Day, then there's graduation, there's wedding season, there's plenty of opportunities, right? So what happens is that folks get really excited about the prospect of these holidays, but then once they're not cracking it, they're giving up. And so I want you today to vouch for yourself that wherever you are in your journey, you're not going to give up. Because unfortunately, what happens is that you could be literally so close to the summit, right, of the mountain that you're trying to reach. And because you're not putting in, you're giving up, like you're not essentially being able to go to the top of the summit, right? Or another analogy that I've seen is like folks digging through and they're trying to find gold and they're so close and they give up right before them having a breakthrough. So Etsy's not the problem. Etsy's not the problem. So there's a store which is selling phone cases. And as you can see, they started their store this month. They started this month and they've already made $17,000 in revenue, right? So the reason I'm sharing this is because a lot of folks I've heard, well, you know, the reason you're successful is because you started a few years back. Oh, the reason you're successful is because blah, 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 right? No, guys, Etsy works. Etsy works. Here's proof. You can make $17,000 in just a couple weeks, right? The reason it might not be working for you is because you don't understand how Etsy works and you just don't have the proper knowledge. And so it's almost like you're Frankensteining your way through success. All right. So now this is a perfect example of something that's making $37,000, guys. This is a Valentine's gift. Obviously, it's a sarcastic Valentine's gift. Look at this. They listed this 3 months ago, right? 3 months ago, and it's already getting traction. So it's a $37 t-shirt, which comes to prove that pricing is not an issue, right? If an item is highly desirable, folks are going to purchase it. Folks are going to purchase highly desirable items. So, you know, instead of now feeling overwhelmed, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? This is not the purpose of today's call. The reason I want to show you these products is because I want you to know what is doing well. First of all, to open up your mind about the possibilities and get you unstuck from this belief system that Etsy saturated and whatnot, because that's kind of what's being propagated in a lot of the Etsy groups, unfortunately. So that's the purpose of this. And also make you understand what's doing well so you can take this information and create your own listing, because copying this is not going to work, right? It's not going to work. And I know you guys are already like thinking, oh, how can I copy this? This is not how Etsy works, right? But you take the data, you interpret it, and then you try to come up with something that's going to be just as irresistible. But obviously, why is this doing well? Well, this is a sarcastic t-shirt that you give to a boyfriend where your face on it, right? And this is kind of like a design trend that's been around for a while. Here's another example of something, which by the way is a digital download. It's a faceless portrait. And it's selling for $18 to $14, depending on how many people you want to add. And look how simple this is, guys. Like $39,000 estimated per month. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. Like, again, I'm showing you two examples that could be easily adaptable for Valentine's, because it's a gift for a boyfriend, for a husband, whatever it is, for a girlfriend. This is something unique that folks will buy. So something as simple as putting this on a shine-on plaque. I have not seen anybody do that, right? So there's ways and there's softwares out there that can help you create these designs. And again, you could even simplify this even more. But this is, again, to show you the possibilities of what is actually selling, what is currently on trend. And so then you have to do the due diligence of figuring out the solutions, right? Like, you have to figure out, if you want to be an entrepreneur, part of entrepreneurship is to be problem solving. That's a skill set that you need to have as an entrepreneur. You need to problem solve, right? You need to open up your mindset to the possibilities and then problem solve, and know with confidence that you're going to be able to make this happen. Here's another example. Name necklace, $77,000 in a month, estimated monthly revenue, guys. So yes, this listing's been around for a little longer, but what is missing from here? A message card. A message card could literally completely change the game for this name necklace. And unfortunately, like, a few folks will be like, oh, I tried uploading shine on name necklaces. It's just not working for me. Yeah, it's not working because whatever you're putting out there is mediocre. I'm sorry to say, and I'm really blunt, but it is. You guys are uploading mediocre listing without understanding what people are into, right? So here's the data. Name necklaces are hot and people are purchasing them. So there's opportunities, guys, and you just have to understand how to crack. And not to worry, I'm going to talk more in depth as to how you can crack these opportunities. Here's another example, $66,000 in monthly revenue, guys. This, you can easily replicate this using Outprint. And essentially what it is, it's a birth flower month for everyone, you know. And essentially what you can do here is you could have, like, it's a bouquet of all the folks inside your family. And essentially it's like their birth flower month. You could easily do this with Outprint. You could easily do this on Outprint. And what is it missing again? It's missing a message card. A message card is going to make it that much better, because essentially you're going to be able to tap into the emotions of your customers. So if the necklace by itself is doing so well, imagine the possibilities of simply adding a message card. So guys, like, again, you know, like, these are big numbers. Like, there's opportunities here. Here's another example. Notice how they uploaded this 3 months ago. Okay, so a little caveat here. So when it comes to Shine On, items like this are not kosher anymore, simply because Etsy took down a lot of these products back in October because they're not personalized and they're categorized as being drop shipped. So this store is playing with fire by all means, but I don't care about the necklace. I don't care about the necklace. What I care about is the data. Okay, promise necklace for him. This is performing well because it's a Valentine gift. This was uploaded 3 months ago, and their estimated revenue for that one necklace, $6,700. So now with this data, I'm going to take products that are available for me. Could be a wallet. Like, I mean, the sky's the limit. And essentially, I'm going to try to emulate this concept into another product. See where I'm going with this? So, like, instead of just, this is why having an open mind and having a winning mindset makes all the difference. It unlocks the possibilities. And I know I sound very woo-woo right now, but it is true, guys. It is true. Like, not having the right mindset is costing you money. It's making you not being able to see the possibilities because you feel defeated, and hence you don't have the same energy going in versus someone who's like, I got this, I'm going to crack this. So mindset is key. And here, again, this is something you all have access to. And then ready for the finale? This cutting board is making $200K a month. So why? Well, partially as well, because they're not just tapping into Valentine gifts, they're also tapping into bridal shower. They're also tapping into the wedding niche, right? But this is super simple and the possibilities are there. And there's plenty of vendors. T-Launch is one of them that does cutting board. Like there's plenty of possibilities. But regardless, like this gives you data that, okay, perhaps, there's other opportunities. And whatever gift I create for Valentine's, I can also make it a bridal shower gift. I could also make it a wedding gift. So you have to open up your mind to the possibilities. So really quickly, because I know some of you might have just joined, I'm going to reshare again some of the products that are killing it for Valentine's. And then we're going to break down a strategy that you can use today to be able to crack this by yourself. And most importantly, I'm going to explain why you're not able to get results and how you can change that. So this t-shirt, which is kind of like an ironic, funny t-shirt. This is making $37,000 a month. Well, a little bit more than that. It was listed 3 months ago. So this is doing well. This digital illustration is making $39,000 a month. And it's very simple. Again, you could literally put this on a plate. And by the way, like not just putting it on a plate, you could also add a message to this. There's no message here. You could literally blend it with another idea. You could add like a Spotify song. Like the sky's the limit here, right? So like you have to have you need to build a skill set of understanding where the possibilities are. And it's almost like you're putting a puzzle together. And the way that you get better is through having the knowledge on how to do that and also practice, right? Then there's this name necklace, which we have access to through Shine On. And with Shine On, you could simply use Anywhere POD to upload listings. Guys, like when there's a will, there's a solution. When there's a will, there's a solution. This is making $77,000 in monthly revenue. And again, what is it missing? A message card. Here too, like this is Outprint, $66,000 per month. Again, what is it missing? A message card. And then again, see, like when there's a will, there's a way. So like I said, they're playing with fire because this could be taken down because technically you're not allowed to post this on Etsy. But this seller, did not get discouraged and they went back and uploaded Shine On. Versus a lot of folks were like, oh, all my listings are down. Oh my God. And they did not realize that actually that opened up the marketplace for all these opportunities. Like it was actually a blessing in disguise that this happened because it took out all the competition and everybody who's just felt demotivated did not re-upload. And so all the folks that have a strong mindset uploaded and look, this person made $6,700. And this is just one listing, by the way, guys. This is not the entire store. And finally, $200K for this cutting board. $200K a month for this cutting board. And they're selling for $96. So the $1 million question. All right, Luna, so why can't I get lots of sales on Etsy? I don't get it. I'm doing everything. Well, I want you to forget everything you think you know about selling on Etsy. Really, guys, like that's the key. Because a lot of the questions I still get, oh, what's the best tool for SEO? Oh, what's this? What's that? Forget all this. Like all that is noise, okay? So here's the number common one mistakes that I see a lot of noobs doing. The first mistake, because this is readily shared, and to be honest, this is something I used to also believe myself, which is why I changed my new course around, because this used to be my old method. And I realized actually the riches is in saturation. But obviously to be able to tap into saturation, you have to understand how to ride and surf the Etsy algorithm. So what happens is that everybody's going for low competition niches. Yeah, let me go after low competition niches. So they found a winner. They're like, oh yeah, let me upload a bonus sister listing. This is getting a lot of views. Like, let me go for it. But then, if you dig under the hood, you see that the sell volume is not there. $261 a month. So now I get it. Like it's better than nothing. Obviously, it's better than nothing, right? And a good strategy can be to like start little by adding these low competition niches. It's a definitely good strategy as a beginner. But the problem is often more than not is that because you don't have the skill set, you find yourself feeling depleted because you're uploading listings after listings after listings after listing. You're like, but there's less competition. Why is it not working? Well, it's not working because there's just not enough traffic to sustain the sales. And then you're competing with other sellers who are more experienced than you. Then the other common mistake is, how do I get more views? How do I get more views? I'm not getting any views to my listing. Etsy's algorithm is extremely sophisticated, and it's going to know really quickly when you upload a listing whether or not there's any potential for your listing. And you having reviews on your shop does not matter. You having other listings that did not get sales does not matter. None of that matters. You don't need to pay for Etsy ads. On the contrary, when you're starting out, I don't want you to pay for Etsy ads because you're wasting money. The problem is not the ad. The problem is the foundation, right? The problem is your listing, right? So you can bring all the traffic in the world, but if you bring it to something like that, this digital planner, which I'm sorry to say, I could have done that on Canva, so could you. Why would anyone buy this, guys? Like, come on. I mean, yes, like you can go on Canva and create templates from scratch, but like, why would anyone buy this? Let's be real, right? I mean, come on. Are you trying to steal people from their money? Like, I mean, people are not stupid, right? So like, obviously they're going to buy something that's just like, that has more weight. The Ultimate Digital Planner, this is like a thorough PDF that is clickable, so you can essentially use it with GoodNotes and other iPad devices. So yeah, obviously this takes more time. Like, this is why personally, honestly, I think print on demand is easier to crack as a noob than digital products, because digital products, like, yeah, you'll make a few bucks here and there, but like nobody quits their jobs with a few bucks. But whatever, that's a whole other discussion. But like, I mean, notice the difference here, guys. Like, so let's say that you were like trying to spend money on ads to bring traffic to this like to design digital planner. Do you think you'd get sales? No, you wouldn't get sales, right? And you could have the best SEO in the world. You're not going to get sales. So see what I'm trying to say here? Is it starting to make sense, guys? Yeah, right? You're like, oh yeah, I get it. So then the other mistake is perfect SEO. Again, the best SEO in the world is not going to get you sales. Like, yes, SEO helps from a traffic standpoint, but like most of you are going to have basic SEO that's going to be just fine. And then you can go back and you can optimize it and you can make it the best SEO in the world. But most of you like are going to be able to have basic SEO that's going to help you get traction. So again, like, we know this is a bestseller, but like, you know, if you're doing something like that, it's not a bestseller. Like, there's just so many things wrong with that listing, right? So SEO is not going to help a listing like that get traction. It's just not. Is this making sense? Yeah? Awesome. Yeah, somebody's asking, is print on demand drop shipping? It's not. It's not drop shipping. The reason it's not drop shipping is because you are dealing with suppliers who are usually in the US for the most part and in Europe. And they already have the products available and they ship it really fast. Shine On ships as quickly as 2 days sometimes. So they ship anywhere between 10 days is the maximum that I have seen. Printify does 10 days sometimes with t-shirt. Gelato is actually amazing when it comes to shipping things really fast because they have centers all over the world, but it's not. So it's not drop shipping because essentially you're adding your design, you're adding your take to the element. And then essentially you also have factories, or you're dealing with suppliers who've been in the game for a long time. And it's not like ordering something from Alibaba and wondering whether or not who your supplier is. Like, it's nothing like that. So that's another reason why I love print on demand. But I mean, you could also sell digital products, right? Like, Etsy works with both, right? It's really up to you and what you want to do as a business. So the other common mistake is like, oh, okay, but I'm in Denmark, so how does this work? Or I'm in Germany, how does this work? And so what happens is that folks focus selling only in their country of origin because they have this misconception that if their shop is, let's say, in Spain, that they're not going to get US traffic. And that's not true, guys. That's a misconception. So you can have a shop in Spain, in Germany, wherever you are in the world. You can have a shop wherever you want. And then essentially what happens is that you, within your shipping profile, based on where the item is shipping, like that's what customers are going to see. So they're like, oh, it's shipping from the US, right? And again, if somebody likes what you're selling, they're going to wait for it. They're going to pay premium for it. I mean, this is a misconception that you have. So like Etsy knows that it's a platform where there's shoppers from all around the world, predominantly US shopper, by the way. And essentially you can still tap in Europe, and there's plenty of opportunities in other markets. But all I'm saying is that instead of like focusing so much in like which part of the world am I in, that doesn't matter. You can sell worldwide. So let's kind of break down why most never crack the code, right? There's a couple reasons. First, you're uploading lots of products. You have no strategy in place. You're like, okay, let me upload this listing idea. Like a few of you, after what you watched today, you're going to copy exactly what I shared, thinking you're going to get sales. And that's not how it works. I hate to break it to you. I mean, I know this because I remember I did a video about these like Spotify plaques that were doing really well. And literally I was getting all these messages on Instagram. How do I create that? Guys, that's not how it works. Like if it was that easy, it's not. Like you have to like figure out, okay, this works, this works. Like I said, you're putting a puzzle together, right? So a lot of you might copy what I shared, thinking that's the solution, but it's not. This is essentially data for you to figure out how to make it your own, right? And so what's happening next is that a lot of folks end up lowering product prices out of desperation. They're like, okay, the issue is my pricing. It's too expensive. It's not. Or then they're like, oh, let me spend money on ads. Again, like now, that's not the issue. And then they start thinking Etsy's the problem and they give up, when we know it's not, because there's a shop that started January 1st and they've already made $17,000 in sales, selling the right kind of product. So what really is stopping you and everyone else, like the elephant in the room, right, is that you're all competing for eyeballs. So for digital planner, for instance, right, what happens is that, well, okay, you get lost in the sea of digital planners and there's nothing unique about what you're uploading, right? So it's like, essentially you're like, okay, this is a great idea. And then you don't do the reverse engineering and the due diligence of understanding, how can I differentiate myself? This is the example I was talking about, right? So I shared how essentially everybody started uploading this, right? Because I shared this. And so, I mean, too late. You have to come up with something else. So like this is actually already better. They came up with something else, right? But everybody else like is uploading the same concept and the same idea. How do you think you're going to compete? You're not. So this is the thing. This is what you have to understand. Like SEO is not going to be helping you compete. Like, no, you have to like take elements and figure out, okay, how am I going to make this better, right? So what happens is most of you are lost, completely lost in the sea of option, and you get no traffic. So again, I know I'm repeating myself over and over again. When you're lost in the sea of traffic, in the sea of options, the best SEO in the world is not going to save you, and the best listing optimization is also not going to save you. So if your listing doesn't get visitor, don't delete it, right? Like don't delete it. You're just gathering data. It costed you 20 cents. You're gathering data. And sometimes some things rank at some point, they end up ranking or whatever. It's just a matter of ensuring essentially that you are getting, yeah, I mean, essentially leave it alone is what I'm trying to say. Like don't renew it, but leave it alone, right? So what's happening, the real problem, right? The real elephant in the room, what I want you to fix, what I want you to understand is all of that other crap is just fluff. You need to spend all your time and energy working on your listing. Your listing is generic. Your listing sucks, right? So this is the reason you're not getting any traction, guys. Like, you are not doing anything unique, and it doesn't have to be like groundbreaking. None of that, guys. But like, you just have to understand what are people into. Because at the end of the day, if you don't feel proud of what you put out there, like, you need to ask yourself, why would somebody buy this? To make you happy? No. So if you're spending 2 seconds on something and it looks like shit, I'm sorry to say, because you're just trying to upload and upload and upload, because you heard somebody on TikTok say, oh, the way to win Etsy and print on demand is volume. You need to upload 1,000 listings. That couldn't be further away from the truth. Like, that's just bullshit. Yeah, 1,000 listings when you don't know what you're doing. Absolutely. But then you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and you're never getting any results, right? So the issue has nothing to do with that. So again, you don't need Etsy ads. You don't need to post on Pinterest. Etsy shoppers are actively looking for gifts. Etsy is like Amazon. People go on Etsy to shop. The only difference between Etsy and Amazon is actually Etsy's not saturated. Yeah, Amazon is saturated. Amazon, you need to pay for ads. Etsy's not. Etsy's not saturated. And this is the thing I want you to get inside your head. It's not saturated. It's a marketplace. And it can't be treating as selling on TikTok, Facebook, Amazon. Trust me, I've done it all. I've sold on Amazon, sold on Walmart, Shopify. Like, I've done it all. And I can tell you that Etsy is a very different beast. And Etsy's customers are really different too. So you have to put that in your head. You have to understand that. And guys, like, look at this. I mean, just the data here. Etsy's actually 4th most visited website. I think the first one's Amazon. eBay is like 3rd. I forgot, but I mean, it's up there. Target was like number 5 right after. And there's 499 total visits a month, and people spend as much as 6 minutes on Etsy. So the opportunities are there. The people are ready to shop. It's just you're putting garbage out. That's it. I mean, I'm sorry, I sound harsh, but it's true. So I'm going to reveal my secret formula. Not so secret anymore. My secret formula, part of my secret formula. So you can understand and it starts making sense, right? So this is what everybody does. Everybody's like, oh, SEO, let me go on eRank. Let me find some keywords. Sorry, guys, I'm doing a little funny voice. This is what everybody teaches. And by the way, I used to do that too. I'm just as guilty, right? I don't do that anymore. I've realized, like, it's a waste of time. Yes, sometimes you can find like good keywords and whatnot, but like, when you're a noob, it takes a while for you to understand what keywords have potential, because looking at a keyword does not give you the information about purchasing intent. Write this down, purchasing intent. So there's a keyword, but the keyword, you don't know that keyword has purchasing intent behind it. You don't know what people are buying. And what's more important is demand and purchasing intent. That's actually more important than keywords and niches. Got it? Does that make sense? So it's not saturated at all. You guys are, I promise you it's not. So the problem is you have to understand, well, everybody's busy over here, right? Looking at, oh, let me create a gift for a daughter. Ooh, let me do a daughter gift. So everybody's doing the same thing. You have to be smart and you have to go over there and be like, actually, I'm going to upload this. I'm going to show you, not to worry. So here's an example. And I've shared this before. A grimoire. So this is like Books of Shadow, right? Notice how their title is complete garbage. Notice how this is in 20 carts. Notice how it's selling for 40 euros and it's a digital download. Notice how their thumbnail is garbage. So now, do you understand? It's not saturated. It's just you guys don't understand demand. This has demand. If you spend any time on TikTok, what do people like talk about on TikTok? Astrology and manifestation and blah, blah, blah. There you have it. Another one, a witch planner. So everybody's doing digital planner and they're doing a general digital planner. This person just uploaded this like a couple months ago. And look at that, 20 cards. So again, and they put work into this, right? This is the other thing. Like you do need to put work into a digital download. It's not like do nothing and like you have plenty of templates you can use. You can use Creative Fabrica, you can use Canva, but you have to actually put work into it. If you put garbage out there, like nobody's going to buy it. Here's another example of something that is print on demand or also digital download. You could actually put this on a shine on plate, right? And so it's a custom map. And why? This is sentimental. There's sentimental value. So you essentially put the place where you and your loved one have met. So see the difference, guys? Do you see the difference? Purchasing intent. Yes. You see the difference here? Like this has purchasing intent. Astrology. So yeah, you don't have access. You don't have access to the specific necklace, but I don't care about the necklace. I don't care about the product. I care about the emotions. This is all I care about. I care about emotions and purchasing intent. So Sagittarius, this was in 20 cards, it's constellation. This is not even all that good. It's missing a message. It's like, you can make this way better. So astrology is another good one. But the thing is, some of you might try it and you're like, oh, it didn't work. But it's like, okay, well, it's like you expecting to go fishing and put one fishing rod and expect to have fish. Like you need to put, yes, it's almost like I'm going back. Yes, like you do need to like have a strategy in place and you need to like put a couple fishing rods to see which one's going to give, but don't have 1,000 fishing rods. Like that's just insane, right? Because then it's madness. Like you have to have something that's controlled and you're just like a mad scientist trying to figure out what's the right formula, what's the proper composition of what I'm trying to do. So is this making sense, guys? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments so I can see. Oop. Yes, yes. Quality versus quantity. Exactly, Lori. It's all about purchasing intent, right? Yes, purchasing intent. Purchasing intent. So you need to understand where there's demand. What is in demand? What are people into? Number one, what are people into? So just to give you an example, during COVID, what did we all buy? We all bought masks, right? But now, obviously, there's no demand for it. This is a very simple way of putting it. And this is product specific. Doesn't have to be product specific, right? But just like what people are into changes. Like you're not like back in the 70s or 80s, like whatever people were into, even though maybe now it's coming back, like people are not buying, like, I don't know, remember people used to have like big cell phones? People are not buying that, right? So you need to differentiate yourself. That's the other thing. That's actually the hardest part, I would say. Most of you are able to somehow understand demand, but you're not understanding how to differentiate yourself. And I get it. It doesn't happen overnight. Like you need to create desire, right? And then you need to understand how to attract your shoppers with an irresistible listing. An irresistible listing doesn't have to be a beautiful thumbnail or any of that. It's like how to tap into that need, that want. Oh my God, I need to have this grimoire shadow book. I need this in my life because I want to do some shadow work. I need this witch planner because, I'm playing around. It's my little hobby, whatever. I need to have this for me and my husband because I want to have a nice piece inside our home. And this would be such a great Valentine gift or wedding gift. See the difference? See the difference? So this is how you attract your customers. All right. So ready for the fun part? Yes, yes. Say yes if you're ready for the fun part. Yes, yes. Ready for the fun? Okay. So as you know, I like to live my life, right? I'm not about spending my days in front of my computer, or at least not anymore, right? There's a reason why I wanted entrepreneurship. It's because I wanted to be able to travel the world and do whatever I want, work from anywhere without having a boss asking me, where are you? And asking for permission. I'm I don't know. That's the rebel in me. And I feel most of you, if you're here today, it's because you're a rebel, right? You don't want to ask permission for living, right? And this is from someone who used to work 60 plus hours in New York. I mean, I was just a slave. So I got multiple hacks up my sleeve. You know this already. This is why you follow me. I'm Mrs. Hack, but I'm going to reveal one hack. And you've never seen this hack because literally I'm releasing it today just for you guys. No one uses this. Your mind's going to go like, psh. And no, it's not using any fancy Etsy tools or none of that. It's super simple. Ready? All right. So you're going to go on TikTok. You're going to go on TikTok shop. And I'm actually in shock. No one figured this out yet. You're going to put t-shirt, graphic tee. In this case, I put mugs. So I found this like freak in the sheets mugs, which by the way, this design has been trending for a while. And yes, trademark, blah, blah, blah. I'm just giving you one example. Please do not get caught up in the specifics, right? I found this and I knew about this design. So I wanted to share this example with you guys, but plenty of other opportunities. So then you go on shop, you're going to put funny mug. Then when you do your search, you're actually going to do sort by bestseller. And what you're going to look for is to see how many sales the item got. Because that's going to tell you, without using any tools, without spending money on anything, it's going to tell you how much demand. And ta-da. This item made $52,000, this t-shirt. So see how that worked? Isn't that amazing? We're like excited to use that. So you can use this right after this. TikTok shop, unfortunately, I think if you're not in the US, you might not see it. You might have to use VPN to see it, but it only works on desktop, on a phone, unfortunately. But this is a great way, essentially, to find best-selling ideas. And I'm in shock that nobody uses it. And again, this is super simple, right? Like there's other ways of finding what are people into, but this is just like the hack of the century. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, awesome. So, by the way, guys, this is just one hack to get more sales. Like I got so many hacks up my sleeve. And this is, I mean, if you've come into contact with other folks, like, you know that what my method is very, very different because I focus on what matters. And this is from not just my own results, but also working with thousands of people and knowing what works for them as complete noobs. Because obviously when I came in, I did have an edge, right? I've been doing digital marketing for a really long time. So that's why it was so easy for me to crack it so fast because I used to work in advertising. Like I understand like customer psychology. Like there's a lot of things, a lot of knowledge that I already had that you guys might not have, but it's okay. So essentially, I hope, if anything, today you understand that everything else that you've been told, image optimization, title optimization, SEO, that is just icing on the cake, like adding a video to your listing. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Yes, it works, but it's just icing on the cake. So please promise me today that you're going to stop focusing on all that other stuff. Yes? You promise you're going to stop? Yes? Stop the insanity of like thinking that that's the solution because it's not. It's not. So this is what you need to be successful. Take a pen and paper and write all this thing down because this is what I want you to understand when you're uploading listings. And guys, again, I can't stress enough mindset, right? You need to have a strong mindset. Nothing's easy. Like affiliate marketing, any other side hustle, like there's a give and take, right? And so you have to understand who you are as a person. Like chances are, if you're on Etsy because you don't like to show your face on social media, you just want to like make money online and call it a day. And Etsy is the easiest way to do that because you don't need to spend money in advertising. You just need to be really good at uploading irresistible listings. So first thing is you need to understand what shoppers want. You can use the hack that I shared today to figure that out. Then the second part, which is definitely the hardest part, and it does not happen overnight, is understanding how to make your listing stand out. This is the hardest part. This is the reason why most folks aren't successful because they can't crack this. They try, and they can't crack it. And you don't have to be a design whiz to make that happen. Trust me. Plenty of folks who are within my community are not designers. So the other thing is, to make your listing stand out, what you need to understand is how to get into the emotional brain of your customer, what we call marketing the reptilian brain of our customer. What makes a customer want to purchase without even thinking about it? They're like, I need this, right? So how do you trigger that? And so that comes again with practice, like through being a seasoned Etsy seller. This is how, guys, you become a top 1% Etsy sellers, by understand the psychology. Psychology is more important than all the other fluff, right? Then you need to have an upload strategy, because this is the other reason people get completely discouraged. They're like, okay, I'm going to try to upload one listing today after work. Guys, you need to treat this like a business. It's a business. Like, it's not like something that you do as a hobby. Let me do some crochet after school or after work. No, if you want to be successful, you have to have a schedule down and be like, okay, I'm going to work on this every day from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. before the kids, wake up, or whatever your schedule is. But you have to be diligent. You need to have a plan of action. Today I'm uploading this. Tomorrow I'm uploading this. Like, you need to be methodical, and most of you aren't. So be methodical, have an uploading strategy. And you also need to know what will get sales and what is a complete waste of time. But after watching this, now you know that spending hours having the perfect listing is a waste of time. You know that having the perfect SEO is a waste of time. Now you understand. And you can also take a lot of the ideas that I gave you earlier today to make those work for you. So essentially what happens is 99% of people fail on Etsy and eventually give up. Like I said, a lot of people were excited about Christmas. They didn't get the results they wanted. They give up, because what happens is that they burn out uploading really bad listings. They don't understand how Etsy works. They're like, it's too saturated. It's too saturated. It's not too saturated, guys. Like, you just have to read between the line and understand where there's a crack of opportunity. And again, if you understand what works and what doesn't, you will see there's plenty of opportunities. And I mean, let's be honest, what is not saturated in 2024? So Amazon surely is, right? And Amazon now, to be successful, you need to spend way more money. Etsy, you can have a smaller budget. That's a beauty. It's very beginner friendly. Shopify, forget about it. Good luck having a good ad and finding a product. So I want you to stop wasting your time trying to find winning ideas to sell on Etsy, right? I want you to start having massive results in just a few weeks, because a lot of you, unfortunately, I know you've been inside this group for a while. So what if you could stop, wasting your time uploading bad ideas? What if you could stop feeling frustrated? What if you could have the confidence of like, okay, I'm moving forward. I'm moving towards my goal, right? What if you could say goodbye to following bad advice and trying to piece it all together and having to figure it out on your own? Actually, that's really bad advice. Just the other day, I saw a couple of really horrible advice, and I'm not going to say anything, but like, yeah, I mean, I want you to like put in work that actually is going to compound to you becoming a top 1% Etsy seller.
And so far it's been 17 days, and I've already made 10,500 in revenue, which is amazing.
And we're not even at the start of Christmas. Like,
I know.
So this was Angie, who actually had joined late October, my program. And so within 2 weeks, she was able to make $10,000. This was selling something apparel, print-on-demand apparel. So yeah, and then I also want to share a couple more stories for you guys.
35,000. I think I've actually done another 1,000 since then. So I'm at like 35, 36,000 since November 1st. And I am so excited because I did $50,000 in 2023, 35,000 in just November 1st till Christmas.
So this is Deborah, and she made $35,000 between November 1st to December 19th. And this is while having a full-time job. She was having health issues as well. So, I mean, she was only putting like 1 to 2 hours. And then she had a couple months where she did not put in the work needed simply because she was like overwhelmed with life. And so she still was able to make it happen, right? Like, these are really good numbers. And this, I mean, again, doesn't have digital marketing experience, just like you guys, you know?
Because of you, like I'm a 1% Etsy seller now. I have 6 figures. I'm into like 140,000 in revenue so far. I am quitting my day job to do Etsy full time, and I am just so excited about all the possibilities in the future. Like, I'm amazed at what I've already achieved with following your methods, and I know there's so much more I could apply to do even better. So I am just like beyond excited. When I started, my husband was very skeptical about me joining yet another program, like doing another thing. And he's just like, literally say to me, why can't you just be happy? Like, just focus on our kids, like just do that. I'm like, I want to do that too, but I also want to show them to follow their dreams. And I felt like if I gave up, like that's not the example I wanted to set for them. So I feel like so proud that I can have a business and like show them you don't have to just stick to what you've been doing because that's like the safe thing. Like, you can follow your dreams, you can make it happen. And like, they're totally part of what I'm doing now, and so supportive. And it's just like the best feeling ever.
So the reason I want to bring this up, and the reason I'm bringing these testimonials for you to watch, is because mindset is everything. When you see other folks succeeding, it makes you realize like this is all within reach. And something that Lisa said that, I mean, I almost started crying again when she said that to me, is the fact that she didn't want to give up on her dreams because she wanted to show her kids that you want to fight for your dreams. And so I want to ask yourself, you know, wherever you are in this journey, whenever you feel defeated, ask yourself, like, I need to fight for my dream. I really want this. Like, think about the little girl, the little boy that you were, and how much you want this, and know that this is possible. This is all within reach. These are folks I worked with just a couple months ago, actually. Lisa, all through last year, but like, it's all within reach. So, you know, I think it could be overwhelming because there's just like so much information, and you're like, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? But this is all within reach, is what I'm trying to say. So if you guys are interested, just for the next couple days, I've put together something where essentially I'm giving you access to my new course plus 1 year membership. And if you guys already are inside the membership, you'd be able to cancel the membership. And so essentially what I'm doing is that I'm giving you access to the course, which is lifetime access to my completely revamped course. You're going to have access as well to like hot trend videos, very similar to what I did earlier inside today's presentation, where you're going to have ideas of print on demand and digital products. You're also going to have 1 monthly live Q&A support call. You're going to have a community portal group, which is inside Kajabi. You're going to have Canva templates to help you with your design needs. There's going to be live lessons, AI prompts, and then there's also going to be, already is actually, because we started it, a January challenge. And so the January challenge, which makes it even more fun, is that whomever makes the most sell this month, I'm going to give them $500, right? So this is, the reason I did that was because I wanted to make everybody excited about the opportunities, make it a little bit more fun, gamify it a bit. So I thought this was like a little nice added value. So usually the course is $2,000, but for a limited time, I'm making it $997, which is one time. And essentially, like I said, it includes the membership. So within that, you're already saving money because the membership comes up to about $800 a year. So you're practically getting the course for free, right? So you get the data of understanding how my method works, and then you get the weekly videos, and then you get calls for a year, monthly calls for a year. So this is like the deal of the century. This will be taken down in the next couple days. If you guys are interested, I would love to have you inside of our little community so we can make those dreams come true wherever you are in your journey. And guys, like I said, you know, it's all about understanding that you have to stick to this, right? If something called you to become a top 1% Etsy seller, you have to write your whys. Like, why were you called to Etsy? And if you feel like Etsy's too hard and whatnot, then don't do it. It's that simple, right? Like, I'm not trying to push something that doesn't feel right for you. For me, as somebody who's done it all, like, Etsy is very, very beginner friendly. I don't need a website. I don't need to know how to do landing page optimization. I don't need to do email marketing, SMS marketing. I don't need to know how to do traffic. with Facebook ads and TikTok, like none of that, right? And that's the other thing, the other elephant in the room. When you see a lot of folks like dingling their $1 million Shopify earnings, you don't know what those profits are. Versus with print on demand, the profits are usually anywhere between 50 to 60%. Digital products is 100%, right? So like there is a difference. Like, yeah, the numbers are not as big, but those are actual profits. Versus with Shopify, they could be spending millions of dollars, getting millions of dollars of sales. So with all that said, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. I'm going to look through. And yeah, Valentino, I know you're inside. I'm so excited. So let's make it happen. Yeah, Luis, you guys are next. Yay! I'm so excited that you're a member as well. Okay, so any questions, guys? Opening up the floor for questions over here. So first and foremost, I want you to take action, right? Whatever you learned today, I hope you took screenshots of all the different products that I shared. I'm going to make the replay available for you guys as well, so you can rewatch it. Use my method. Like, and this is just one hack of finding ideas. Use my method. Like, nobody's using this. Like, I know I'm going to get a few messages like, oh my God, I got to sell. Usually I get those. So I'm super excited. All right, guys. How can you see the estimated monthly sales revenue on a listing? Kinga, you just have to use research tools, Etsy research tools. There's plenty available. There's Everbee, there's Alora.io. Yeah, there's a plethora of them. So that's how you do it. So yes, you have to focus on demand. You need to understand where the demand is. Saturation is a good thing. Saturation means that there's plenty of opportunities, because you just have to understand how to differentiate yourself, right? So instead of doing a gift where it's like bonus sister, which I'm not saying you're not going to get sales, but there's not as much traffic. You want to ride the wave of traffic. And so that's why my method is so different from everybody else. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. This was such an amazing live, and I can't wait to see a few of you inside the course. Like I said, it's only going to be available for the next 3 days, and then I'm increasing the price back. And so you'll get access as well, not just the course, but the membership, which includes essentially 1 call a month, a community, and then trend videos, Canva templates, the list goes on. All right, guys, let's make some 6-figure sellers over here. 2024, we got this. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.